Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm your host Wally, and today we are in one of three accounts that I want to promote to you guys. And as you guys can see by the thumbnail, I'm promoting you guys Ninja. Yes, who wants Ninja? Because literally, ladies and gentlemen, I have three, not one, but three accounts, three referral accounts to be exact, that has Ninja on them, and I'm looking to give away this account for free for anyone that chooses to win this or choose to pick it up. Right, so I'm showing you one of the accounts right now, and I'm pretty much gonna go through the account a little bit just to show you what's on it, what's been done. uh just newsflash, not a whole lot's been done on this account because of course there's been a lackluster of timing for me to really give to this account to really fluently progress it. So I haven't done a whole lot. There hasn't been a whole lot done. So pretty much you're pretty much walking into a nice decent rookie account with a decent enough stuff in it for you to play with and then press forward on your own terms, right? So early game status account right here. So yeah, for sure. Right, of course I'm on the recall because I was out of the game for like a good long time in this account, like way back, because again I was handling so much to the point that it literally activated this. So yeah, you have a free two rare books when you get this done, whenever you get the tag. But yeah, so right now, right, the mine is fully done. It's all three, is 3 for 3 right there. The account on this account is on day 212 currently, so you're pushing for Grush at this point on this account. This account does has the elimination chase currently on, because again, like I said, I have my other accounts as well, so this account had to take a back burner. So yes, I still have this chase still going on from here right now, so you would have to do this chase just to collect a lot of the eliminacy stuff. Of course, I'm gonna still play the game to collect the stuff as I progress day in and day out until someone picks it up. So no worries. The progression awards, you already know, is up to here, is like up to 50, so that's what I'm pushing for. And yeah, that stuff. So as you guys already know, pretty much, this is my referral accounts. I'm really just pushing them to 50 to get rewards. So technically, when I give you guys this account, you're also technically helping me because I also need this account to reach the 50 so then I can get my rewards, as you guys can see here, right? So all three of the accounts are literally like plus 40, give or take. Yeah, they're all plus 40, right? One is about to be 50. The other two are workables. So I pretty much did this for Jamersha. Yeah, I did it for Jamersha, right? And sadly enough, one big painful lesson I had to learn. If I did my very so I have 4 accounts other than this that I own, that I personally own, right? If I did my next 3 accounts behind my main account, I wouldn't have this problem right now, right? Because at least I'd be able to have time to play all of them at that point. But because I made extra accounts on top of this with Ninja, that became an issue. And let me tell you why. Mainly because of the new legendary chase. This became the real problem for me because once it got to here and we have to actually do things to really get these rewards, that became a very big pain because now that really slowed me down to what I can do in progress, and knowing that I have to shift consistently through every account every single day just to collect these stuff was a pain. So it was not easy for me to do with this at all. So which is why I'm giving away the account overall, really. I was trying to really progress the account a little bit more so that at least it's in a decent standing. But honestly, I just don't got no time at all. And I don't want to keep on holding this account longer only to then walk into another legendary chase champion. And it's like I don't really got time for it. So I'm just going to give it away as is. And then you guys work from it. And honestly, I think you guys will have more fun with just working through it anyways, with a little bit of a fresher start. And plus, look at it, right? I got you a decent amount of energy. Like, this is a lot of energy. I've saved a whole bunch ever since then. And then of course some decent silver gems, of course, and stuff like that. So right, so this is what the gems are looking like right now currently. I didn't summon none of these at all. I just saved them because right now there was just no point in doing so. Right, of course you already see the gems. Great haul. Great haul, like I said, not really massive. Just just the typical stuff that they actually do as you get into the game, but I haven't really done anything. But there is enough medals for you to like start upgrading these, of course. So depending on how long it takes for you guys to want to get this, of course, will determine how long I actually have to play this. Because of course CBC is around the corner, and technically this account is under a clan. It's under a clan that I own, so I could potentially just start putting these in here during CVC, and then just upgrade these as I go, and then just do some stuff like that. Of course there's some stuff in the forge, but of course, like I said, because I don't have time, there's not a lot of resilience or perception. Why is that? Because of course I don't have time, so I don't really run through faction wars like that. Plus we're not really that deep in faction wars in most cases. So yeah, but as far as for what's saved here, it's the typical 1,000 plus. So of course that makes perfect sense because I try to do arena as much as possible. Plus then we got some other stuff from previous forge pass for those that are in there, and then anything else that just came from whatever stuff, right? So that's one thing. Tavern, let's go in there. So this is the amount of brews we have. I try to keep these brews because I do sort of like waste the brews a little bit. So I try to keep them at least at bare minimum 100 if I waste them, and I don't go past that. And then other than that, that's just it. But of course you can see some of this right here, a lot of food on the account, plus then main champions and stuff like that. So there's barely any chickens. There's only like 2 5-star chickens. Other than that, most of the chickens are just the champions that I made throughout the account. You already see some legendary, so you already know. 2 epic books, 1 rare, no Lego books. Most of those have been already moved on. And then of course for the potions, this is what the potions are looking like right now currently. So yeah, right. All right, Guardian Ring. I have not invested into the Guardian Ring. Like I said, there's certain things I've done in this account that were a little bit also skew. So I thought I had enough time to do a lot of other things, so I didn't really rush to do the Guardian Ring because I was thinking about other things at the time amongst doing this account. So right now, I haven't spent it. But of course, 940, you're able to spend 300, 600. So you'll be able to open 3 slots if I do this next CVC, or if you pick this up, however which way, there'll be some more slots open. Market is markets. There is no souls here. We only need 1 more for this. Of course, again, don't have enough time to really do to collect coins as I would like to. But this is what it looks like right now on the account as far as the souls that are in here. So I haven't connected all of the Alice souls. I haven't connected all the Skeletors or the Lokis. But other than that, we have 1 mythical champion in the Rooster. We have a 4-star for Gory, and then some other stars for some other champions that may be useful to you. Granted, this might not be useful to you, but yeah, you can sell that on your own terms, right? All right, get that. All right. Where are we in the challenges? So challenges, right? This is just 1 more, and then we go on to the final pocket, which I believe we can do this. I haven't just done it, so that's another epic book for you guys right there. I'll probably do that a little bit later. Then I'm behind a little bit on these challenges because just timing. And then of course I'm definitely behind. Okay, I should not be behind on this. Okay, more likely, so I just haven't put time. So today is Saturday. I think if the magic is open, right? So I gotta remove or steal a shield buff. Okay, I have to see how that. I gotta see that. And then Void is gonna be open tomorrow, and then Spirit will be open on Monday or Tuesday, one or the other. So okay, and then Arena is just Arena because of course I haven't had time to do that, right? Go out of here. Missions. So missions are pretty much backed up again. I haven't really done a lot. But there is some are pretty much ready to go and pretty much ready to just be accepted. It's just putting in the work here. So again, same thing. But yeah, pretty much that's pretty much it. So real quick, let me show you guys the champion stuff in here real quick, and then from there we will just go look at some Demon Lord and where we are in campaign and everything else of that nature. Right, worry about that later. So on this account right now, this is what it is, right? So I'm also gonna open up this. So excluding some of the food champions down here, most of these are like anything that's marked, you already know these are the champions you're keeping. Anything that you see that's marked with a tag, those are the champions that are actually keepable, and in any of their books, any of their copies or books or anything of that sort that you see right now, right? Those are keepable champions, right? Others are just copies that are just books for the main champion and etc. etc. Some of these champions, well, actually, did I? Oh yeah, actually, I never had a chance to boost these champions, have I? Yeah, I probably haven't. That sucks. But yeah, well, we got some copies of epics here, decent, solid epics that I've actually been able to pull, like the Oxford here, because that'll be good for later terms in Hydra, as most of you guys should know. Other than that, pretty much stationary. We got Port in the Blue, we got Mossing the Mage, we got the Husk. We also have Anox. We even got Fenshi on the account, which is pretty nice for Fire Knight if you need a Fire Knight solution. Scabrous is pretty decent. Claude is also solid, right? And then pretty much the stationaries that are on here. We even got Ethelyn. So got pretty lucky with some of the void shards here. Of course, then there's just the usual other champions that we usually have on the account overall, right? So strip that away. So other than just, so of course, Elhain is the main champion that we picked here. We got Apothecary at 60 with some gear on, and then not much accessories. We got Ninja, of course, the Ninja that I promised. And of course, he took most of the books on this account, most of the Lego books. So, you know, A3 is done. A2 needs 2 more books. A1 needs 2 more books. And then, yeah. Right now, of course, this is just the gear he has currently. Of course, these two are just something you want to replace. But for right now, this is where he's at. Right? We also got Seeker here. He's in a pretty decent build. To make sure. I have not put on no relics. Of course, Elhain does have her full masteries. Apothecary also has his full books. He got Miracle Heal for boosting healing. He has a little bit of his masteries, but I think he was the one I'm working on currently at the time. Apothecary, sorry, not Apothecary, Ninja. He has a little bit of his books, but he has all his masteries done, so that's pretty much locked in. Seeker, again, no relics, got all his epic books, and then got all of his masteries completed as well. Right? Meltwater was actually one of the more newer legendaries that I got in. I think either from Sacred Shard or an Ancient Shard, but I think it's from a Sacred that pulled him. And yeah, but haven't been able to put no books in him. Like I said, most of the books went to Ninja early on in this account, but he is fully done. I just got to reach into 6 stars, and then, you know, pretty much he's right there. He's done. He's ready to go for the account. So yeah. Alice, haven't really geared Alice at all. Haven't really geared Alice since then. Loki, same thing. Honestly, it's just been a lot of stuff that I've been doing, so it's like I haven't really focused this much on Alice or Loki at all, per se, as far as the account, because I was just trying to be a little bit more nuanced with some of the characters, and since pretty much they are just roles that are not really needed for Demon Lord, I wasn't really focused on them, or let alone putting gear. We got the Scapix here. I have gear on him. He was part of the Demon Lord team, but you know, with the Blaze Clad, I'm actually gonna switch him out. Of course, we got Coldheart here. I mean, yeah, but we don't have her. We got nothing on her right now. We do have some few books invested, but nothing else. We got the Frozen Banshee. I was planning on probably getting her acquainted and then getting her to be a part of the Clan Boss team at the time, but that might be a switching. That might be a different negotiation with yourself of how you want to see this. But yeah, these are just some of the stuff I have on here, right? And other than that, some of the other champions here are pretty much just champions for the later chance, or even just being usable for faction wars purposes. That's pretty much it. Nothing more, nothing less. Of course, we got the Haikatun here. I think she's in the... Yeah, she's part of... She's used into the arena for the speed lead, but usually I think she gets bypassed by a lot of the other champions. Plus, with Blazepad right now being a 3-star ascender, I think he would be the new speed lead of the team in arena. So yeah. But other than that, so pretty much how this works. So as you guys can see here, everything in this vault, in the master vault, is pretty much food. Food fusions, food in general, that's really all it is here. It's just food. And I think right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, yeah, we can actually 6-star the Glazeclad right now. The only thing is I do not have the max brew to do so. Because if I do it here, right, yeah, we have enough chickens, right? And then of course, open up here. So yeah. So again, if CVC comes around, I'm 6-starring the Glazeclad and put him up. And then of course you have the 6-clad Gladehead at that point with possibly some levels into him. So yeah. But that's pretty much what is there. But yeah. But this is how I designed it. This is pretty much all the food here. So this is where I storage all the food for most cases. This is where the other piece of food as well is here. So pretty much everything from the everything from the Yaga all the way down is pretty much food. Of course, some of you could say some of the champions up here can be considered food. If you don't wish to use them, that's on you when you get this account. But yeah, pretty much everything from the Yaga and down is pretty much food. That's why I put it in consideration. After that, everything in the reserve vault is pretty much champions that I choose to keep and I deem usable to a degree. Of course, again, like I said, when you get this account, you will be able to dictate what is usable to you, what you keep, what you throw away, etc., etc. So yeah, kept a lot of champions here. Haven't been able to 3-star. I mean, well, 30, at least push up to 30 for some of them, or in that, I mean, most of them. But yeah, but a lot of this was just what it is for the time being. But yeah, so that is pretty much what's in the account as far as right now. You can definitely do as you please with that as far as what's in here. So let's test out the I'm actually gonna switch this out and put Glazeclad in. I don't see a reason to put him in as the speed lead at this point, so no need, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it right here. So pretty much we're gonna go for quick battles. I'm not gonna really play this out because got time. Well, I don't have time to do it, so let's see what it looks like. So this is my first time testing out, so I don't know what the results will be, but I think it'll be better than what it usually is. Yep, this is astronomically better. Astronomically better. So beforehand with the Scaphics, this was actually less damage on the account, but now with the Glazeclad, because he can revive, this is astronomically more damage on the team. So just crazy work. And plus, honestly, what with a speed lead, then you have 2 turn meter boosters. Yeah, I expect more damage is going to be done on this account overall. So decent little early in. Of course, this account is pretty much like for where the team is, for where this clan is right here. Pretty much it is operating on a easy and normal. So the highs right now this account can touch is normal. I haven't really seen what it can do on actually I have. It's not, it can't really hit the conditions right now for the hard, so you have to work that up. But I want to switch this around real quick and let's see what this looks like with speed aura in the lead. Let's see if it actually turns out to be better or maybe not. Right, so this is normal. Let's see what we got here. Right, we got the second key. All right, 8.32 million. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Again, this is way more better than the usual team beforehand. So definitely way more better team. I think honestly with what I see here, this should be like, because knowing it hits at 8 million, I think you should be able to hit hard and hit it decently to touch the warrior chest at least, or even the knight chest possibly. I mean, usually what, 8 million, so I would say yeah, warrior chest at least warrior chest. It should be that good enough to touch warrior chest right now. So pretty solid team right there, right? So let's do a little bit of arena for the time being. Let's see, does this out? So this is what it is currently right now. This is the current arena team, right? If I take all these champions out, so what I'll do is put the glaze clad in first. I'm gonna do these two, and I will probably go with the apothecary versus the seeker here. Honestly, I put the seeker in because the increased attack and plus the provoke, but let's see, right? Apothecary is on more. All right, let's see what we do here. But usually, I think the seeker would be the better option, just because the seeker gets more. Plus, he's not fully upgraded to 60, so the ratios looking a little skewed. But yeah. Oh, that's right. Glazeclad does the increased attack, so never mind. That's more likely would be the arena team that you go with. I keep forgetting he does that actually. And then drops. Nice. So that is just a little bit of the insight right there. And the game's about to reset, so I'm not going to touch on if this can do Chimera. I haven't really remember if this can do Chimera. Technically, with the champions it has on here, it probably could do Chimera. I haven't really tested out to know for sure, but I'll probably test it on a different video to see, or I'll probably try to add it in the recording to see if it plays out that way. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna do a little bit of battles here, see what you got. Yeah, the glaze cat needs to be much more faster. I couldn't get it to be faster enough, because that should be literally putting out the increased attack before anything else. So then that can be that. So of course there's gonna be a lot of tuning of the speed that needs to be done on this account, so you can get the right setups in the right place. Because Glaze Cat needs to go first to drop that increased attack. And then of course Apothecary going second with at least a turn boosting with increased speed, and then letting both Ninja and Elhain rip it out afterwards. So yeah. I'm gonna do one more battle and then we're gonna move on from here. Typical early game arena team, and it's not fast enough. Game over. All right, so that is pretty much everything that's on this. So that's pretty much what this is on this account. So that's pretty much it. Also, let me keep going. Let me make sure to keep going fast enough real quick. So campaign, we have hit brutal, but we had hit a snag here. The simple fact of the Elhain, but now with Glaze Clad, I'm probably gonna put the gear on and see if I can survive this, to then be able to just get through and then touch this, and then by that point, brutal is pretty much done. But yeah, that's one thing. Dungeons, so let me make this fast. Only touch really one. I probably can go up to 3 maybe, but I mean that's on you. Level 10 is where I stopped at for this account. Again, level 10, pretty much for everything. Minnow is at stage 11, but can push further if I get those champions up to par. Ice Golem, stage 10. Spider, stage 10. Dragon, stage 10. And Fire Knight, stage 9. Right? And of course, these two I don't really touch at all. I don't think I ever touched them. Never touched them, not once. Never touched them, not once. Okay. Yep. Next stage already here, so gotta get going. Yeah. So next stage already here, but I'm just gonna get in here real fast. This is what the faction wars look like. So again, like I said, based upon the champions that are on the account, you already know there's not a lot done here. So yeah. Arena, only really touch just arena. I don't touch tag at all, and we haven't reached live arena yet, so don't care. Doom Tower, I have not touched Doom Tower, no, on this account, and nor have I tried, because again, we don't have proper gear enough to really get over. So yeah, that's pretty much right there what this account is. That's just the substance of this account overall. So as you guys know, this is the first account that I've shown you, but understand this. This is actually, in comparison, the least valued account, in my opinion. As far as what champions I pulled on this account, what champions that are on the account, and everything else. This actually is the lowest value. The next two are decent value. The next one will be a decent value, and even the last one will be the most greatest value. So, yeah. Definitely for sure. I have 3 accounts here, and it's going to be very nice. But, like I said, stay tuned. Since it already reset, I might just go in there and peek into, you know what? Let's do this now. Let's do this right now. Let's see what we have to offer, right? So let's look at what this looks like right now if we were to face Chimera. Of course, when Chimera chains, it'll be Force Infinity. We don't have a lot of spirits, so it is what it is. I mean, granted, we could gear up the Loki and try to see if Loki can help us out with the Brimstone, but for right now, let's just leave it as is, and let's see what it at least has potential to do, if any. All right, haven't been in here, so let's see. Let's see what the damage is like. All right, increase speed. Right, so like I said, I gotta get the place pad up just to do the increased attack. Actually, I would actually save after he does the boost. Actually, I actually save the increased attack after he does the strip, because he's gonna strip the gear. He's gonna strip the gear off. Yep, he's gonna strip the gear off. Ooh, that's so bad. Oh God, so bad. Yeah, I don't think so. We're gonna survive long enough to really make an impact. Well, I'm gonna let them showcase this, and I'm gonna just take myself out of the screen real quick so you guys can have a better scenery of this whole. See if we can actually get there. I mean, we're pretty close to getting at least 1 million at least, right? So hopefully we get up to that part. It had to attack the Glaze Clad. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, this is, I think this is where we die. Yep, this is where we start to die here. Yep, the end is coming here. But we did see that we can touch at least 1 million. So that's something for this account. But yeah. Yep, the end is pretty much near. It'll be interesting if I survive to see the line form at this point. Huh. Survive to see the line form. Interesting. Well, it's been acting on me. Yep, I died a lot. Alright, not bad. I mean, well, not great either, but hey, what you gonna do? What are you going to do? So, right, so we did at least get, I think, wait, did we hit this? Yep. So we at least earned enough to get the novice, so that's something decent, right? At least you're able to get the novice chest. That's at least a decent start. It's not a great start, but it's a decent start, so that's something. So better than nothing, that's for sure. So yeah, gotta take a step out of here. So that's for sure. This is the first account. I'm gonna come back with the next account, and then we will discuss that what's in there as well. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Hey guys, we are back with the next account. So we got the Kale here. All right, let's go in here. And I forgot to tell you guys this. So as far as what is needed to qualify to pick up one of these accounts, so it's gonna be very simple. Actually, I'm gonna type it for you guys so you can see what you're gonna have to do here. Right, so let's come in here. You guys can see what's already in the vault already as far as what's in the main roster, but pretty much you're just gonna do this, right? Just type in WWG Ninja, or in this case, yeah, just type in this WWG Ninja, right, in the comment section with any other following comment, and this is how you can enter in, right? And then I'll just pretty much get one of the websites that do a randomizer, and then boom, I'll just select you from there, and then that's how you can win the account overall, right? As far as for each one, I might change it a little bit, give or take. Just stay tuned for the community, to stay connected to the community tab of my channel, so you know what are the full layouts of it is. But other than that, that's pretty much what you'll do just to get one of the 3 accounts that I have bestowed onto you. So that's pretty much it, right? But yeah, so let's go into it. So this Kale account is pretty much 251 days in. So pretty much this is, I think this is probably the more further ahead account more than the other two, because this is, like I said, this is one is pushing for 50. But based upon what's in the account, like I said, also it's not, it's better than the first one that I showed you, but not as better than the last one in my opinion. Of course, it's also got the Luminosity chase, so you can see how long it has. So we have plenty of time to collect the rest of these stuff. And plus, like I said, I'm gonna still play it until we get a winner. So yeah, as far as the missions go, again, very poor. Haven't really done anything that much. Just telling you the truth, right? I know it's a little bit sucky, but hey, again, it's like I said, it's just another experience of you starting a whole free-to-play account. Right, I already did some things in the game already. I'm just saving a little bit of it so then I can show you guys where the account is overall. So the champion, Okay, the challenge account, the champion challenges. More can't talk. It's almost done. I just need a force champion to be raised up to 6 stars. I'm gonna show you who are the options for that, and then of course, battle with 60 in campaign, which I believe I can do that right now. I just haven't bothered to do it. And then of course you get this last Lego book, so that would be great. Of course, there's a bunch of these challenges that we have to do here for the gear stuff, and then there'll be 2 more left over. Pretty much had it come here. I'm surprised I didn't finish this one, but I guess I'm not paying too much attention to those, or neither. I just didn't have champions to clear these challenges, one or the other. And then of course reaching silver, which again I haven't really pushed for in here that much, so I don't know if it can. I believe it should be able to push for silver, but you can see how it goes from there and figure that out. Right, so what else I want to show you? So as you guys can see, the mine is already fully built. This is what's inside the forge. Again, haven't really played too much of it, so it's not a lot, but there's decent amount of, what is it, magisteel. So you can, that can tell you already, like, I just go in arena, punch it, and barely buy anything out of this one. This is what's in the Great Hall. Again, pretty much nothing much done, but if I hold this up until like CBC, which more likely I will, depending on how much people want to come for it, then of course, like I said, I'll upgrade it here and there. This is the tavern, so this is how much of the brews I have. Like I said, I try to keep them at least at bare minimum 100. If I choose to spend some of them as certain events come around and if I have time for them. Right, don't have no chickens. Actually, I just upgraded some champions, so yeah, we just got some, but there is some champion chickens, just not regular chickens. We do got one of each book, and like I said before, if you can complete the champion challenge, or if I complete it, then of course there'll be one more Lego book there for sure. If you're wondering who has most of the Lego books invested in them, it is the mortar. So technically one more book for the mortar, she's done. So the next Lego books that you can do is guaranteed the ninja or the tomb lord or the other Legos that are in the account as well. And then as far as for the potions, here are the potions that are in the accounts. That's how much we have here. If I'm not mistaken, this is enough to ascend the Lemonici if you choose to, or even the other force champions that are in this account. Yeah. So what else can we go here? So Guardian Ring, again, like I said, I did a lot of different things, so I haven't really fully invested in opening this up, but there is enough for one more. That's pretty much it. Not too much investment as far as Faction Guardians, for lack of thereof, and yeah, everything else is just nothing else. What else is there? Okay. Altars of Souls. So if you saw it earlier, there is a 6-star Belor. There is a good reason for that 6-star Belor. So if you come here, right, Belor got the 6-star soul. So be happy with this one. Belor got the 6-star soul. So you're gonna have a very nasty Belor right here that can get Nature's Bounty and have a good chance of dropping a lot of those debuffs out there. So Belor is definitely one of those champions that are going to be one of your top priorities, give or take, depending on how you want to build them. There's not a lot of stun sets out there in the amongst the artifacts, so you might have to think of building him differently, if anything else. But yeah, other than that, then it's just pretty much the typical stuff here. So the Lemonici 2-star. Eventually, you get the others, the Alice's, the Skeletor. Mad Hatter, the Lokis. We got a 6-star for Torshan. And then of course a bunch of stars right here for other champions. Some of these are a little bit of copies, and they're in it. So you can do what you do with those. Yeah, not much able to really push for anything else. So yeah. All right, and let's go into the champions. So came here earlier, you already seen here. So these are the champions right now on the main roster. Pretty much like I said before, most of these are here. If I haven't said this already, then let me say this now. So pretty much my idea strategy at the time when I was holding these accounts, when I have enough time for playing these accounts, and didn't think, I was gonna be trapped in needing to rush or anything else, or this gonna be over consuming. Well, right. So what I did here is anytime, depending on what starter champion I had, what I would do is I will start building champions within the same factions to help in faction wars at least at an early pace amongst that faction, and then constantly grow the account at least in that factions, because of course you have a head start there because of the starter champion. So of course most of these champions are right now here that are dark elves. They just don't have no gear, because usually I wait until like 50 to 6 star to really start gearing out the champions, especially because of the accessories. So those are the real reasons I tend to wait to put gear. So if you notice, yeah, there's no gear. Yeah, that's part of the reason why. And again, this faction wars, most cases, faction wars not that hard, so I don't really see it a need to really put gear on them right now at the early convenience. But again, do as you wish. So right, Bellower also doesn't have no gear. The gear that I did put Bellower with before, it just wasn't enough to sustain a decent amount of stats. So I wasn't really pleased with it at the time. So, it was just like I had him put back in the vault. But once I got the 6-star soul, I was like, oh, gotta bring him back out, because that 6-star soul is gonna be very helpful to somebody. And definitely having Bellower right now with that would have been pretty awesome. The only sad part is I didn't had nothing to really like work on as a build at the time. So yeah. But let's talk about the main champions here. So this is Kale. So this is what Kel got right now. Currently, he's not crit cap. He doesn't have a big amounts of crit damage, sadly. So that's something to work on as you get the account. We do got the mortar. Like I said, mortar is pretty much fully built. I mean, honestly, I may as well just put a heart on it, because she only needs one more book and she's done. She's actually the second Lego I got on the account that I was very happy to get, because like the moment I knew I got her, I already knew I was winning, because she had the increase 60% increased defense and a counterattack for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. So to get that was just massive. It was just massive for the account, because now you have a chance to set up a counterattack against the clan boss, because you're always going to attack. Because the moment clan boss does 2 of his AoEs and you just go in there for the counterattack, you're pretty much doing more damage, right? And then with her being able to also push out decreased attack and also push out decreased defense, she was just the perfect champion all around, just to be able to pass out perfect debuffs against Demon Lord. So that's why I gave her the books overall over the ninja, because I know some of y'all would say, why you didn't put the books in the ninja? Hey, there was a reason. Tomb Lord was actually the first Lego I pulled on the account, other than once I got the account. So he was the first Lego pull that I got from Ancient Shards, and then Mortar was the second one. So you can see where that all came down. And then I went with Sanguinia. Of course, I fully booked Sanguinia on the team, and this is what her build looks like right now. Right? Sorry, let me get that low. So she's not fully like up there in speed, even though she should be, because she's a support. But yeah, that's just what I had to work with at the time being. So plus amongst the gear, let's go to the mortar. Mortar is not very highly fast with the speed as well, even though she should be. But because of Demon Lord, I mean, it's a workaround. I mean, of course, the boot can be a little more bigger, so that's something. And then the gloves and the weapon are just, poor on this end. Plus, get her more stars to get her more of the accessories would have been way more helpful as well. So that's just something I just have to work with. This is the Tomb Lord build right now. Again, Tomb Lord is not as fast either, which again, things I have to work with on the account for the time being. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have time to even try to see if there is a workaround to switch up the gear, but yeah. And also, this is the ninja build right here. The ninja, this is what I got for ninja. right? So again, very slow builds here, not very great builds, but of course, like I said, the gear you definitely have a chance to work it there. So there's 362 gears. This is pretty much mainly 5 and 6 star gear only. The only I would say the only 4 stars are just boots for the most part, for the most cases, and they're just speed boots for the most cases. Maybe some of them are 9 piece that are different typings, right? Some of them may be different typings based upon the 9 piece. Yeah. So actually, I would probably sell those, right? But most of the boots here that are 4 star are just speed boots only, and that's just because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of speed boosts on the account if we're just looking at 5s and 6s. I mean, granted, for what we have already assembled, I think there is enough. You just gotta now just switch them around. So I'm guessing you could just sell the 4 star boots and just be like, hey, that's done. Okay, wait, why is that there? I don't know why I had that. Right, but you can definitely move around these. So I think there is enough boots at this point in time where you could just be like, all right, just switch around as much as you can. Okay, that is another sale here. I don't know why I have these boots. And wow, okay, I'm guessing I did not flush these out. And yeah, of course, like I said, amongst the 9 piece, there's just certain things right there. But yeah, but pretty much you got a couple of boots here that you could probably work around since you only got a few champions. But yeah, but that's the reason why I just kept those on the account as far as where it's at, since you mainly are just playing with 5 champions right now, and then you're trying to work on some other ones. But let's go in here. So in this vault, like I said before, the master vault is usually just the food. So I also had this champion with the sniper, also part of the dark elves build up at the time. Uh, Honestly, right now they're just there for food. Conversion. I mean, now if you choose to keep them, by all means. Same thing for this champion. Also had that for dark elves at the point for faction wars. So pretty much, I just figured that you guys would just put them as food, so I put them there. I don't have enough champion chickens to send them up to the next 5 stars. So pretty much that's just something you can work around. Most of these, like I said, are just a bunch of fusions. Maybe there's some food here that you could probably grow, but then it's like you got to build up more. I just recently upgraded some of these, so yeah, that's pretty much why there's not much food. And here is the other vaults right here with the reserve vault of some champions that I chose to keep because I believe they just have the value. So the other champion, the other 4th champion that was considered taking to 6 star once I get the chickens enough to build it up, in neither Telesia, because I did invest in her, or neither Nordy the Lucky, right? So if you look at Telesia here, she's fully booked out. So she was definitely one of the other champions alongside Belor that I was planning on taking up on the account and raising up on the team. So she was just one of those other lucky champions. Neldy did not did anything with him. He was just one of those Lego champions that I pulled. That was a Force Infinity champion. Definitely decent support debuffer. You can use him, right? And then of course I got Finland. Wait, is it Finland? Yeah, Finland. So fully booked out everything, all his skills. I was pretty early investment for like Fire Knight, pretty much, especially with his LI attack. So that was something I was thinking about. So those were pretty much the options that I have here, especially from a standpoint of Lego to Epic to Rare. So yeah. Also, like, just my building process, just to understand, right? So usually what I'll do here is, if you look at the Lego, if you look at what's in the main roster, so we got a Lego that's a magic base. We got a rare and an epic that is magic base, excluding those from the same faction as Kale. So usually what I'll do is I'll get like one Lego here that is magic, one epic that is magic, and one rare that is magic, and then I'll work to the next one doing the same thing with the spirit. So for spirit amongst epics, because I don't think so I chose one. Honestly, I didn't chose one. Yeah, I think I didn't chose one. I think I was supposed to choose, yeah, the High Katoon. I probably chose High Katoon, but I didn't have enough chickens to bring her around. So that was one thing. As far as epic wise, as far as rares go, I think neither this. I think Spirit Host was actually my honest pick, even though she was Dark Elves. But yeah, I think she was my honest pick. I didn't think of anybody else as far as spirit upgrades here in the vaults. So as far as I know, right? And technically I have two because those Legos, but those were the best thing I had on the account. What else is with there? So yeah, that was pretty much epics for that. And you know, I did the same around the board. I have epics, voids, and magic and rares. And then force, like I said, pretty much it was the Nucky, it was I forgot her name, Telesia, and then of course Flannan. So those are the three champions from that point of how I think about upgrading, because you want at least enough affinities to really work around, just in case if you reach a point of being in different affinities as you constantly progress in the account or arena or however it may be, even in Demon Lord. So, you know, something like that. But pretty much that is the overallness of this account from a standpoint of what's inside. Right, so this is pretty much what you're working with right here. Most of these are just, you know, food for the other champions, and then the main builds like that are 30. I try to build up most of the ones that are tagged to 30, just so that they're usable in faction wars if it ever comes a time, and then yeah, just to constantly just grow as I go in the account overall, for lack of thereof. So that is pretty much what's on the account as far as what I've, you know, put my time into. So you guys can see where you want to go from there. Let me get out of that. So let me show you right now a little bit of what is the Demon Lord team. So this is what the Demon Lord team setup is right now. So this is how I got it set up. Let me go here. So yeah, definitely getting the Haikatune on here so the speed lead can go through is important. I just haven't really set that up. So like I said, I didn't have enough chickens to get her up to 5 stars, so didn't really put her on the team. Especially since I didn't have enough speed boots either, so it was really like, yeah, not able to build her up right now. It wasn't prominent, so. But this is what the team's at right now. Most cases, this team finishes up. Again, also, this needs a lot of speed tuning because the Kel goes first. Initially, it's supposed to be the Mortar goes first to set up the provoke with the decreased attack. And then after that, you could say it could be Tomb Lord next to decrease the turn meter, and then if he completes it completely, then of course be able to attack again, which he spreads out his poisons, and then honestly it can go neither Ninja or Kale as the next hitters to nuke out the rest of the team. But that's how the setup should be with this team, honestly. But yeah. Yeah, and see, that's what makes that would be important. Like if Tomb Lord would be the second person to come in there, because then, you know, Tomb Lord would just do what he has to do. But that is what I have there for Arena. Just a quick little oversight on Arena. So this is where we at in Faction Wars right now. Like I said, not really developed. Campaign, yep, we're in Brutal, so that's what it is. I haven't touched Nightmare, so no worries about that. This is where we are with this. Again, haven't really tried to touch this any more higher. Probably could beat this, but haven't really done too much. This is what the Void looks like. Again, haven't done a lot. This is what the Arcane Cape looks like. This is what Minnow looks like. So I haven't beat this out. Should be able to, based upon how much champions are fully got the masteries. Actually, yeah, that's one thing I didn't show you. So okay, right, that was stage 9, stage 9, stage 13. Fire Knight is stage 6. So, and that's pretty much it. Actually, yeah, let me go back to show you guys that. So Kel has his full masteries. Not a lot because of this. You might want to change this one, give or take. It all depends on you guys. Yeah. Mortar got her masteries. Tomb Lord, I was sort of building a little bit here and there because of other missions. Sanguina got her masteries, and then Ninja is working on his. So I got about 4 champions that can help out with that. So Ninja's right now is the one we're building, and that's pretty much it, right? I'll take these right now. So let's go on to Demon Lord real quick. So pretty much they can only touch easy, normal. Based upon what's in normal, they probably can touch hard. So let's go here and let's show you what that looks like right there. So normal, this is how much it's gonna beat out. So this, like I said, this is the team, but all defense here. Right, so 12.95 million damage. So Ninja, even like so again, even with most of the books not being put out, but knowing that there's the counterattack, Ninja is doing most of the damage here, and then Mortar with Kale are doing the secondary damage. Sanguine is doing a decent amount of damage, and then of course Tomb Lord is just there for the debuffing if, surprisingly enough, Mortar doesn't land hers. Which honestly, Tomb Lord can actually be swapped for somebody else in the near future of the account once you get to that point. And then of course here, let's see what we hit here on this one. All right, so 7.43 mil. So again, Ninja's doing most of the work. Then it's the Kale. Surprisingly, Mortar takes a slighter pitfall here, and then Sanguina still stays on top, I guess. Lack thereof. But yeah, so this is pretty much the damage. I would say because of that damage, if I had to take a guess, more likely could reach maybe the warrior chest right here, the second warrior chest, or neither the first one. Probably the first one if I'm being honest. But yeah. Wait, sorry about that. I don't remember if I really test this, but let's try it out. I'm gonna go all defense here. So yeah, only 2 is gonna really make a difference, but let's try this one out. I don't think so. I actually really played Chimera for this account, but yeah, let me just test it out for you guys and let's see what we get here. All right, so I have the 2x speed, so I probably did try it before. But let me put this on full screen and let's see what it looks like after the whole results come out. And boy, that's alright. Ninja already took so much damage. And that's another thing. So the R-Tor might be a great switch fix for the account because we need a new reviver. So at least getting a reviver would be decent. Since the R-Tor is actually somewhat healing per turn with his A1, may as well be the good idea to go for. It's about to be gone. It's about to be gone. If it can reach a mil, then I mean at least it's something, right? If it can reach a mil. Okay, that's fine. Now, granted, I haven't really control what moves should be procking out first or second. I'm just letting it do its thing, just to see where it flows. So yeah, I mean it reaches a million, so it's something. So I guess with a little bit of controlling the return, what moves come out, it will be better off that way. But yeah, can't really compete. But at least it reaches a mil, so that's something. Keyword something. It's not a whole lot, honestly. It's not a whole lot, but at least you get the novice chest. That's a start. So yeah, that is start right there. But nothing too serious overall. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what's all on the account. So again, like I said, this is pretty much literally Early game status is nothing really like overall, like nothing really over the top with this account. It's just what it is on here. Oh yeah, this is pretty much what's in the shards. Like I said, I pretty much saved the voice. They didn't really go for it. 2x here, no point. But yeah, this is everything that's on the Kel account right now. Is there anything else that I needed to show? Again, Doom Tower, nothing's built on Doom Tower at all whatsoever. There's nothing built on Doom Tower. But this is pretty much everything on the account, you guys. This is all I have to really show. But like I said, this is pretty much like the second best account. And if you're wondering how I'm quote unquote saying what is considered the best, pretty much. So put it like this, right? If you look at the first one, which was with the Elhain, they only had Gelfkid, Meltwater. That was the only Lego I pulled from shards by itself without any primo code or even a what's the word I'm looking for, or without any of the new legendary chase champions. Those were the only Legos that I pulled on the account. Now, as far as, like I said here, these are the legendaries I pulled, plus also the Ned or the Lucky. Those were the ones I pulled on here straight up, without calendar, without any of the chases or whatever the other one that Arto is a part of, the community champion, right? So those were the ones that I've literally gotten on this account. So those were 3 Legos I got. But out of 3 Legos, they're decent. 2 out of the 3 pretty much. But definitely the next account is probably the best account. So stay tuned for that one. I'm about to bring that up and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the third and final referral accounts that I have here. That is with Galek. Now, I know most of you probably feel like this is literally going to be somewhat the bad account because you're starting with Galek. Like, he's the worst of the one. He's worst of the 3. Why didn't use April? But telling you right now, this is literally the best account, and I'm going to prove to you why. So, we're in day 222 of this account, right? So, we're going for Grush. Let me pick this up. There you go. Right, so let's look into the shards. So the shards here, you can see we just got here. We just picked up like 3 ancient shards because we just picked up one recently from the free gifts right here in the shop here. So we just recently picked that up. And plus we just got 2 extras right here, lucky in the market. Very rare lucky pull right there. The mine is fully done, so you got nothing to worry about there. Forage, again, nothing in this one at all either. It's just what it is. The time that I did, great haul. I did a little bit more, I guess, did someone say. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Barely any arena, that much. Tavern, like I said, try to keep him at least a beer minimum of 100 inside. Here's some of the champions you can see. You already see one of those special surprises here. So yeah, you already know what time it is. Actually, yeah, sorry about that. Went out too soon. Got some few chickens in here, so definitely can 6-star probably the next one if I have another set of 3-star food in the vault. These are the books that I have so far on the account, and then these are the potions. Alrighty. So, of course, decent amount of energy, so you can do some decent stuff. Decent amount of silver. Gems, I had to repile up. Garden Ring, did not invest, but of course, like I said, if I hold this up until CVC, then of course I'll invest in opening these up. Yeah. As far as here, let me just look through here real fast. So nothing else here. We got about 31 souls in here. This is what we have so far. Most of it is just not being connected to the past chase champions that we have here, but after you pretty much move that, this is pretty much what it is. So nothing really like spectacular. I mean, just the Siegfried and the Orin. That's pretty much it. After that, everything else is just, well, whatever else you can connect the dots to. But that's pretty much it. Let's see here. Got that. So let's look at the champion vault. So you already seen it. Yep, this is why this account is pretty much the most wanted account, honestly, in my opinion. This should be the most wanted account. Because literally, just look at the past amount of Legos you just saw pass through your faces. Right? Literally. Just look. So this is what it is currently because of whatever champions I have inside here for food growth and everything else. Of course, other champions could be, deleted because you really ain't gonna need them. I'm just using them for faction wars, but you can do as you please, of course. But yeah. Look, let me tell you right now, King Galkabar is neither ancient or sacred, but I believe he was through a sacred shard pool. If I'm not mistaken. He was through a sacred shard pool. Yeah, and he also has the book investments. So I put the books into him. He needs one more Lego, then you can pass it on to whoever else you want to upgrade here. Rotos. Now see Rotos, oh my god. This is interesting. So Rotos was through a prism pool, right? I was able to go get the prism through a different lucky enough it wasn't through those daunting events like the gear like those potions for the Phantom Shogun and Sand Devil. So lucky enough it was an easy way to getting it, and I pushed for it. And boy, we got lucky with a pull, and we got Rotos. I think that was the Undead Horrors pull. So yeah, very massive. Yeah, don't have no books. This is pretty much the simple gear. It's not really great though, but it's something for the time being for what I'll use them for. Then this was actually the most interesting story. So tell me how, right? There was like 2 different progressive chants, and I just went for it. This extremely amount of luck. So funny enough, right? I didn't think I was gonna get Armand's the Magnificent. So I went for Thor, which was on the same progressive chance as him, and they didn't give me Thor. They gave me Armand the Magnificent. So I was lucky enough to get Armand's, even though I didn't pick him in the progressive chance at all, and I got him. So now, and funny enough, like I think maybe a month later or 2, again, another progressive chance to get Thor again, and I get Thor. It was crazy. It was crazy. I cannot fool you. This was all off Ancient Shards. If you are in Cobb's Raid Shadow Legends community amongst Game Leap, if you're in that community, then you can see the post that I'm talking about because I'm in there and I posted in their community in the I think in the screenshot tabs. If you're not there, then well, you ain't gonna know I'm telling you the truth. But if you were there and you are from Game Leap's Cobb's Raid Shadow Legends group chat in Discord, then you know what I'm talking about. You should know what I'm talking about because I literally showed the post over there. And boy, crazy. So we pulled a lot of great luck here. We pulled the King Galkabar, we pulled the Armands, we pulled the Rotos, and we pulled the Thor. And then, of course, getting all the other champions along the way. So it was just bonkers. Right? Of course, this is where the food is for most of it. You already know. And plus, what's in the main roster right now, because I can't really fit all of them in there and store them in there. So there's about 100 and plus so of champions here. So again, these are just some champions that I just had along the way. Plus 30 what I can for faction wars here and there for the time being. And yeah, that's pretty much it, right? If I had to show this through a full lens. So pretty much other than once it gets, I think, yeah, so pretty much anything else in the midst of this, other than including the food, yeah, I think it goes down to at least the armature as far as what's really on here, give or take. I don't know. But yeah, not really a lot of stuff. It's just a little bit of everything. But pretty much these are what is here, right? If I only focus on just... Actually, yeah, no. Let me do this, right? If I just focus on the 5 and 6 star here, these are just, like I said, take away the Legos. I only gave a few investments into the epics. The one rare, which is Doom Screech. And yeah. That's pretty much it. Nothing more, nothing less, honestly. If you're wondering why did I choose certain champions the way I did, yeah, pretty much Doom Screech was pretty much there for the simple fact of the increased defense with the turn meter boost, and then yeah, pretty much it. Yeah, so that was pretty much the main ordeal for him. So pretty much arena, a little bit of that, and then that stuff right there. Haikatun would probably been. I think Haikatun's in the arena team though, but yeah, but I think he's on the clan boss team though. Yeah, he's on the clan boss team. He should be on the clan boss team. Yeah. So for everyone who wins this, I mean Armons with Thor and then Rotos, you pretty much win a really a hard hitting account because Armons pretty much clears everything in dungeon for you, right? Amongst the wave, spider, whatever you can think of, he pretty much clears it for you. If you can build up a better Thor, then, you know, he's going to nuke a lot of the champions out the way. So you just pretty much got all that going for you. So, yeah. But let me just show you what it looks like so far. So, didn't really worry about the accuracy for Galette. So, if you're worrying about that, why I didn't put no accuracy, because I just make him just a full-on damage dealer. Of course, he's not crit cap or has a lot of crit damage. So, it's just what it is for what I was able to do on the account. But he is fully ascended, fully booked out, mastery's done, right? Ninja, again, this is what the gear is right now. Again, same problems that I have on this account a little bit. I haven't been able to really work anything else out because, again, my lack of timing of what I have to be able to do on this account. But this is what it has. This is his masteries. So did a little something, everything on this account, right? I already fully mastered him out. He needs one more book, and then you can switch it off to anybody else. Does this needs? Okay, yeah, I don't need no books at all. It just needs to be ascended to 3 to activate. But yeah, but same thing. Not really that greatly built either. Just whatever I was able to muster up within the gears. Armons. I think Armons is probably the best. Give or take the best, close to the best build I have on here. Give or take, as far as speed wise. He definitely is the speed lead for the team when we go into arena, so that's for sure. This is the Doom Screech, not really great at all whatsoever, but you know, this is what I had to work with. Yeah, I mean, I think Alice is like probably the best damage I have on the account, honestly, just for the simple fact of the crit rate and crit damage portion, but nothing really too spectacular. This is Rotos. So yeah, again, a lot of work that needs to be done. Some of these champions don't have no gear on it either. So yeah, a lot of stuff that has to be worked out here. A lot of stuff. Okay, so she does have decent. She just don't have enough accuracy. And this is Thor right here. Yeah, Thor. He got the crit rate, but he doesn't got crit damage. So yeah, that's pretty much in a spectrum of what we have here. Of course, we also got some other champions built out. Again, mainly because of faction war purposes. Other than that, we got the Apothecary. I was trying to build him up to join the main roster. Again, some other champions just because of affinity of what we can build. So Tormbor is actually, yeah, he's an orc, but honestly, I was considering him swapping him in to the Demon Lord team because of the ally protection and then the increased defense. Then, of course, what he brings on the A1, which is the weaken and then the leech, which would be very great. It's just, you know, getting him up there. That was just really it. Timing to get him up there and then getting the right gears. Because, of course, I think region with Immortal or region with some other 2-piece set would be very good. Perception would have been decent. Other than that, these are the 2 food champions I was just trying to raise up at the time being, or at least I was planning on working up, but then again, like I said, I don't have no time, and then all this other stuff that's going on in the account, and then that's pretty much what it is. And I pretty much show you where's all the food here and everything else of that nature. So, right, okay. So we already peeked into the next day. It's already the next day already, so it is what it is. But let's go into Demon Lord real quick, and I'm going to show you what he can do in Demon Lord. So in Demon Lord, this is what the team looks like right now currently. Pretty much just hold up a lot of support just to maintain. If I were to switch this team up, again, it probably would have been the Thor, and maybe even the Apothecary and some other No, and like I said, the Trumbor, just because the protection, or actually, yeah, and then of course it could have been the Venom Mage. There's a lot of opportunities to switch a certain group of champions here overall, but yeah, but this is what he can do in Demon Lord right now. Currently, he can hit both normal and easy, but definitely some work that needs to be done to make this team so much more better overall. So yeah, 4.03. Again, a lot of work that needs to be done here. A lot of love needs to be given to this account that I sadly do not have time for anymore. But definitely, there's something that is able to be given out to the account to someone that is able to take care of it and press it forward. Again, this is also my referral account, so you guys are sort of helping me out at the same notion at this point in time. If you do help me out to do so, okay, we're back in spirit, so that means Void is gone, which is actually a bad thing because I forgot to actually go into some. Damn, I'm supposed to do something. Okay, but you can touch 13 here. You can touch at least stage 2. Probably do stage 3, stage 10 here. Oh man, I forgot to do something very important. Stage 11, stage 14. So probably with one more help in hand, there's probably another champion that can help that go over. Stage 10, stage 10. Stage 9 probably can change with the Armons. And then get that out of here. But yeah, but almost 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm working on the Doom Screech, but again, like I said, that might change based upon you guys' approach. And then yeah, but so far only these 4 plus the Doom Screech have masteries right now currently. So yeah. Other than that, pretty much it. Let's see. Did Demon Lord. Cannot do Chimera, so I'm not going to show you guys that at all. Cannot do New Tower. Can't do that either. Faction Wars is a skew among certain things, but let me see here. So this is what we have on the arena team so far, right? Simple coverage. So if I'm not mistaken, the Armon should be the one going first, and then Galette goes after, if I'm not mistaken. Give or take. I believe the Armon should be the one going first. Yeah, he goes first. Right, stuns. Take another shot. Drops. Damage gets dropped here and there. That deal. And pretty much game over right here. Right, so that's pretty much the team. No more, no less. But you can switch this around as much as you want. Do as you please. Do as much as you can or handle overall. But yeah, this is where it is right here. But literally, I would definitely say that this is probably like the best account as far as just what I'm able to pull on the account in the small amount of time and without barely any shards on it. So this probably got like the greatest pull ever on my, in amongst those 3 accounts that I've dealt with. So literally, especially for the lack of thereof that I did with this account, it's probably like one of, I would say just for what I pulled with the King Galkabar, with the Armons, with the Rotos, with the Thor, this is probably the best one that is literally on the market right now. Just needs a lot of work and tender loving care from someone that's actually gonna put the time in, which I cannot sadly put in the time in. But definitely, you got some decent champions aiming in the vaults that you can definitely work up here too. Because of course you got the Anchorite, which can boost up increase crit rate and crit damage while also increasing buffs durations. Then at the same time doing like a full heal, right? And then if you're able to build him with a stun set, he's able to be usable in waves because his A1 is a AoE. You got the Royal Guard. There's a lot of decent champions in here for decent amount of content. It's just, putting the time in to work them up and do whatever you please. And then there's some decent champions in here, even if you were to, to really rework the whole Demon Lord team and any other team that's been out there for you to push up. So yeah, it's really doable. It's really doable. Let's see here. Yeah, campaign. Yeah, it's pretty much done. It's pretty much done. And Brutal's all is all cleared. You know, it's just Nightmare that hasn't been touched. Um, Faction Wars. This is the visual of Faction Wars right now. Again, not a lot of things done here. It's just where it's at for the time being. Like I told you, Doom Tower, haven't tried it. Well, haven't do it, and I think I can't do it. Chimera, that's a no. I'm not even gonna try it because I know I went in there, haven't even touched it, not even once. So that definitely, I know I can't. Right, but that's pretty much what's on the account overall. No more, no less. So if you guys want the account, just let me know. Drop it into the comment section. Again, yeah, I think what I told you guys before, right? I told you to simply do this, right? WWG Ninja, right? Just do this, and whatever comment you wish to add, if you wish to add any other comments, and then of course, you know, this is how you can enter in. We'll probably do the randomizer and pick out our winners for each account. Again, if you guys want to be very specific on what account you mainly want to go for, not just any of the three, then definitely honestly, the winner is really first come first serve. But again, like I said, if you want to change the dynamics of how someone should be able to get it, neither you have to be in a specific pool. Like, okay, if you mainly want this account, then be in the pool for the collect account. If there should be a pool for the Kale, or there should be a pool for the Elhain, and then, you know, that by all means, you know, yeah, we can do that too. It all depends on you guys what you want to do with that, as far as how you want this to be attainable. Because like I said, I'm gonna give everyone a chance to get it. Now again, some people already know about these accounts that I already promoted, and because I've been flashing them here and there. So I would say be very fast in getting in on the account as fast as possible, and put your chances of winning in there as much as you can. Honestly, it really depends on how fast. Now, as far as how long will I take to pick a winner, it really depends on how fast is the comments is, as far as how much people is in there and how much people I can get in on the randomizer. So personally, I would say at least a week's time. I'll say give it 1 week, and then whoever is there within 1 week's time, it's a done deal. No worries. If you're on Discord, then I can easily contact you. No problem. If you're not on Discord, then I would advise you to please let me know if you're not on Discord. And if not, then we would have to reach out to each other through email. So if you win, I would need you to reach out to me through email. And then that will be the way how we connect and we transfer over the accounts. So mainly, the main thing is, you guys, is make sure you have an email on standby that is freed up with no, you know, racial Legends account, no nothing. Get a new email and have it ready, so then I can transfer the email to you. Well, I can transfer this account through your new email, so then you have the email established, and then I can give you the current email that I placed on the account overall. So that's pretty much it. These are all three of the accounts. Hopefully you guys, you know, consider choosing one of them. And also just let you guys know, yes, you are also helping me out, because these are my referral accounts. So, you know, if you play them, you also help me at the same time for the time that I've played these accounts as well. So thank you guys, and stay tuned.